Wakulima, ongezeni kilimo.
When I first got to this farm, I wondered why it looked so untidy, having seen what I thought were weeds overgrown on a cabbage farm. But after taking a closer look, I realized these are not weeds. It is the African nightshade, commonly known as managu, a crop whose strong rooting system makes it very useful in a cabbage farm. Since the cabbage rooting system is shallow, managu helps to hold the soil firmly, preventing soil erosion.
When we are doing our irrigation that is overhead, the water that splashes can be utilized by the roots. So you will realize that in our plot, we have less erosion.
There are 11 different varieties of cabbages, including a red one. So, while choosing to grow it, a farmer needs to understand the market demand because most people in Kenya are used to the famous green cabbage, like this one here. Just like many other vegetables, its journey starts from the nursery.
We have the seeds in the nursery for 2 weeks. And then after that, after 2 weeks, now we transplant. Depending on the size of the cabbage, now you can determine the spacing. We have, for big cabbages, you do a spacing of 90 centimeters by 30. And for small, you can do 75 by 25.
When transferring cabbages to the main farm, one should spray it with copper, which controls earthworms. Manure is also good with cabbages, but it should not be raw. In addition, your manure has to be properly prepared to prevent cabbages from burning.
The second spray, you do a spray of caterpillars. The best chemical you can do mulch, that is, which has an active ingredient of lufenuron. It's very good for caterpillars. The small scale farmers, you can check you can even do labdacyhalothrin. The duduthrins, karate for the small farmers who cannot afford a very expensive insecticide.
Lois Mwende, an agriculturist, tells me that immediately after transplanting is when the nightshade or the managu is also planted in the farm. And besides holding the soil together and helping the cabbage hold firm, it is also a very good vegetable rich in iron.
It is very important for young babies and women. And when you look at the cabbage, it doesn't have as much iron as managu, but it has a lot of water.
Uproot? Well, I was told uprooting a cabbage is easy, but clearly we got our cabbage for tonight. Let's go have dinner. The demand for cabbage in this area is very high. A kilo retails at about 20 shillings, bringing in 2 million shillings monthly from an acre of land.
For the crops or vegetables that we grow, you have to do good marketing. You have to produce very high quality of our products so that then your customers will like it, because there is high competition on farming. Indeed, it is not easy. Farming is hard. It needs a lot of perseverance. It needs really patience. Sometimes you plant, you don't get what you want.
You should not plant cabbage where you had previously planted spinach or kales, also known as sukuma wiki, because it may not get the right nutrients. In addition, cabbage needs a lot of water.
When you're going thoroughly checking your cabbages, these are some of the things that you should take note of. The disease, this is cabbage soft rot or cabbage black rot. It starts with rotting, but first you will see some symptoms on the leaf. You'll see spots on the leaf. So when you are doing your thorough checking and scouting in the morning, please check whether you have spots on the cabbage leaf. So when you realize that you have such spots, then you realize that you already have a disease coming in.
Now remember that cabbage is perishable, and while cereals may sit for a very long time in the stores waiting for a market, the cabbage will just rot away long after it has been harvested. So always ensure that you have a ready market if you're planning to venture into cabbage production. Ruth Mutegi for Farm Talk at the Mully Children's Family Farm in Yatta, Machakos County.
Wakulima, ongezeni kilimo.